Okay, we will call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and the business to come before the committee, we will start out with committee member district reports. So I guess we'll just go in order and start with District 1.
I kind of wanted to first start off by making an announcement. October 22nd is the Census Bureau's launching of their nationwide 2020 census recruitment campaign. Their goal is to recruit temporary workers for positions beginning in the spring of 2020. There are going to be several positions to fill in all of Mojave County. The census is accepting applications now via their website, which is www.census.gov. Please always remember it's .gov. The starting pay for the position as an enumerator is $14.50 in Mojave County. Also, on October 22nd, the City of Kingman will be hosting a job fair for the 2020 census. It will be located in the City Council chambers. The event will be held from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and there will be representatives on site to help the people apply online. Arizona at Works hosted a job fair here at the admin building on September 25th, and they had about 25 individuals participate in that event. Some of the stuff that I've been doing is I attended the city's Complete Count Committee. Their team is doing great and moving along with plans and strategies to raise awareness in the city itself. They've been attending several events. I was able to attend the Oktoberfest. It was great. We had a lot of people come up and ask questions, and we're very receptive to the upcoming census. I've reached out to the mayor of Hilldale, Mayor Jessup, because I noticed that she is coordinating a complete count committee up there, which that borders Colorado City and Centennial, which are in our area, District 1. And she said that between Hilldale, Colorado City, and Centennial, they're all going to work together on community outreach for the 2020 census. These areas already have banners up to raise awareness of the census, and she said that the residents are very receptive and understanding of the importance of participating. I will be participating in their complete count committees via phone so I can keep up to date on what's going on in their areas. And I also reached out to the town of Colorado City manager, and he said that they're greatly interested in facilitating the census as much as possible. And I provided him with flyers about current employment opportunities for the census, and he said that he'll try to get those posted in key locations.
Thank you very much. You've been busy. All right, District 2, please.
Hi, this is Karen. Sorry I couldn't make it to the meeting today, guys. I'm participating with the Bullhead City Complete Count consensus, and we've done a few. We did Oktoberfest and I believe a health fair of some sort. Anyways, I've managed to get about 7 people together for a committee to help me here, and other than that, I think we're doing okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and we're glad you're out there on the phone. All right, District 3.
Madam Chair, I've continued to make some public appearances at groups in Lake Havasu City. I haven't done any events because there just haven't been that many happening yet. And some of the bigger events, the booths are completely sold out a year in advance. But I will be working with the City of Lake Havasu City's complete census count committees, and we'll be joining together, and I'll be representing the county. I have 4 scheduled groups to speak at in the next 6 weeks.
Thank you very much. And I guess that comes to me. I'm District 4. So unfortunately, I haven't done a whole lot of meeting with other groups or being able to participate in events. I've had several other things going on here recently. So I am right now to the point where I'm going to start scheduling some of those things. I have been in contact with the City of Kingman as well. I know it's not really our district, but we kind of merge there. I did attend the city council meeting last night, and Sylvia did a very nice presentation there, and she gave us a copy of that, a PowerPoint that we're free to use, and she had some really good points in it. I would like to take this to our reality store the Chamber is going to be doing. It's with all of the 8th graders, and do a mock census with them as one of the booths that they visit, and then they would take that home to their parents. So I think that would be a really good way to get that out. And they're 8th graders, so it would be a really good topic for them. So we came up with that idea last night. And let's see, that's budget stuff, so I'll save that for later. So I am going to meet with Jean and see if she's got some contacts into the outlying areas where we can start migrating that way and getting some committees set up there. So next month we'll have lots more going on. Thanks. And District 5.
I have been a little busy this month. I have gone and I'm going to participate in the Yucca Halloween Parade and the Veterans Day Parade. I'm going to be visiting with Fort Mojave Fire Department. I've been to Desert Hills already, Fire Department. I've reached out to the Chamber of Commerce in Bullhead with John is his name. He's going to help me. He has the same areas that I do, so he has a list of all of their occasions, and then I'm going to try not to duplicate any of those. And I'm also trying to make circle runs when I do, Fort Mojave, come back through Topok and hit one of those, and Golden Shores. I'm trying to get everybody all, so I can at least leave and do 2 at a time, because it's a lot of miles in between of nothing. So other than that, that's about it.
Okay, so then we will move on to item number 2, discussion and possible action regarding identifying specific budget needs and not duplicating expenses with other committees. Open for discussion.
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
I handed out a little budget item. I got a few different costs for 4 different items that I had in mind. One of them being flyers. I only put 5,000 of those because I don't know how much we'll really hand out at events. I priced that at Staples for 22 cents per printout, and I used one of the Census's from their website flyers to get a cost for that. It was full color. The total cost for the 5,000 was $1,100. And then the next item that I think is very important that we have are vinyl banners. I did 12 items because I tried to do for each city and each county building in each city. So I figured about 12 of those. I got 2 prices from 2 different companies. One of them was 48hourprint.com and one was Costco. Costco was significantly different at $36 per item, 5 by 3 foot banner, totaling $462. And then car magnets, which the size of those would be 5 by 24. My idea with that was put on all the operational fleet vehicles for the county. I reached out to Kevin at Motorpool, and he said that they have about 205 what they would consider active vehicles. That's not talking about the big public works type things or private or undercover detectives. That's like the assessors, cars that are out in the field. And he said, he referred me on to Public Works, and they said a car magnet 5 by 24 would be $12 per item. in totaling $24.60. I don't know if we could even utilize them for a print, but when I looked online, they were about that price or a little bit more. And then another item that I thought would be neat would be just fridge magnets. I have some ideas and printouts of each, the flyer and the magnet. Because what I was thinking for the magnet was just like a little business card type, like a reminder. And it just, I have it here. It just says, real simple, it's using their logo that they sent, and it just says shape your future, Census 2020, and then April 1st, 2020, and then the web address. Just something real simple where they can look and see it on the fridge and be like, oh, that date's coming or whatever. Those I priced out on that website, discount mugs for 13 cents per item. 5,000 of them would be $9.50 for 10. That was with shipping and everything. So those are some ideas that I had.
Very good, thank you. So last meeting, we talked about name tags just for us and going out into the public. I can get those done for around $16 a piece, so if we need to have those done, I think that would probably be a good thing for us to go ahead and do. And then one of the items that we also needed to address was the mileage. I know these ladies that travel from Bullhead and Havasu, and like you said, you're out in the middle of nowhere a lot. I believe that we should get mileage reimbursement for that. And then also if you should have to travel to Colorado City, and if I'm going to be going to Meadview, Dolan Springs, those types of things, I mean, that's going to add up. So I think that we need to look into mileage for that. And then I also had addressed the signage and the banners. Your prices are close, maybe a little bit less than what I came up with. I was actually thinking about even some smaller banners and even a stand-up one that you could put, say if we go to events, to have one of those little roll-out ones. And I think we can get one of those for around $100 and printed here locally. I think that would be a good thing to have. But even just some, like I did some 26 by 18s, I think we can get those for around $20, $25 a piece. If we don't have some place to put a 5-foot banner like the fairgrounds or, a large fence like that, if we could put some smaller ones out, I think would be good. So those are the things. And then little giveaways, which I did not get an opportunity to price out those, but maybe just to say a few $1,000s for us to look for some pins or stickers or, just little, even keychains or something like that, that would be relatively inexpensive that we could give out at the events to remind people. Karen, do you have anything?
Yes, I got the prices from our Bullhead Census people for some notepads and emery boards, and I believe Karen was going to bring that page to everyone.
Yes, we have it here.
Okay, and that's all I did on the matter.
Okay, thank you.
How much is that?
So she's, excuse me, notepads, a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, 25 sheets is 4.458 cents each for 10,000 pieces. And then the emery boards, 10,000 of them for 0.242 cents each. So,
if you notice, there's Positive Printing is doing it for half the cost.
Yeah, and then I just saw that. And then so there's Positive Printing where the notepads, 10,000 of them for 18 cents each, and the emery boards, 12,000 of them for 10 cents each. So, and I think those would both be good things to have out because notepads are always, people have them laying around, so I think those are good. So do we need to just kind of add all of this up? I know Jeannie brought a calculator with her, so.
I sure did. Were there any other suggestions for giveaways, ladies?
Well, I came up with for the schools, for the young kids, the little tattoos. Temporary tattoos. They always like that. They're 12 cents a piece. And that would also go home with them, and their parents would see that also with the 2020 symbol. Their color sheets, which again, if we use the county to copy those off, they have online on the Census site, they have like 3 different age groups of color sheets that you can go to the school and give them color sheets, and again, they would take those home and their parents would see them. I did do like for balloons for the census, we can get those for like 18 cents a piece with the census logo on them. That's pretty much about it. I was concentrating mostly on the kids, what we can do with them, so.
12 cents for the tattoos?
Mm-hmm. And it goes down. I mean, if we order like 3,000 of them, it's 6 cents.
And I also, last night, I looked at quite a few things on the Census website, and they do have a lot of stuff out there that we can just use what's already done and print those out. So, again, I didn't get an opportunity, but I think we should check with the county on just printing those in-house if we can do that without an outside expense. If we can just buy the paper and the toner is going to be cheaper, I believe, than going anywhere else to get that done. But I think we can print lots of stuff that way, and I would want to print up something to take to that reality store, like a sample ballot or sample voting thing. So if we want to just put maybe a bulk amount in there for printing.
There's also the little Frisbees, which are good, and they last. There you can get 1,000 of those at 50 cents a piece. So those might be a good thing to maybe play some sort of game with the kids at school.
Has anybody considered coolie cups? Drink it. My thought process is when we're running for office, what works the best? So the emery boards that Karen had brought up was a great. Everybody went back for those emery boards, and you keep them with you. Something that you keep with you, not just throw away. And I thought maybe coolie cups. They're not that expensive. They're 28 cents a piece if you get a good. So I figured 40 cents just because we might not get that big amount, but. So we have a really good selection here. If you add it all up, we're looking at about, including miscellaneous, tattoos, everything you've suggested, about $10,500, which is really not that much, and we can get pretty much, and that's including your banners.
Does that include like poster-sized signs?
That's including her vinyl banners, an additional $200 for a banner for when we go speak, or we go to, we have a booth.
Okay.
It includes the magnets, the fridge magnets, some name tags, additional banners, I got that on there, some coolie cups, notepads, emery boards, tattoos, and miscellaneous at $500. So that kind of...
Okay, we need to put, and mileage in there.
We haven't done that. This is just for the giveaways, but we will do mileage next.
Yes.
Agreed. I just wanted to kind of get an idea that you can bring to the board, and I think that you'd be very safe to start off with about between $10,000 and $15,000 in giveaways. And I'll leave that up to the board as to what you decide.
All right. Do we want to do it all as one motion? Does anybody want to make a motion for the giveaway things?
We should probably put it all together with the mileage.
Do it all as one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on the mileage, can you that travel out of town figure how many miles is it back and forth from home to here? And
Madam Chair, I'm going to defer that to Deborah. When I accepted the appointment as a volunteer, I knew I would be driving to the meetings in Kingman, and I will waive my mileage.
Chairman, if you don't want to, you have to fill out a form in order to get reimbursement of that. So if you just don't fill out a form, you're fine. We'll go ahead and put it in there in case we have people that want to be involved more frequently, or you decide, oh my gosh, I got to come to Kingman more than just once a month, so you might want to fill out a form. So we'll put it in there. As I had suggested earlier, it's better to ask for a little bit more and ask for forgiveness and give it back and not use it than not ask for enough.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to bother the Board of Supervisors with constantly coming back for another $1,000. So I'd rather see it a one-time deal if possible.
I would agree.
Well,
Karen, do you have anything as far as mileage?
No, thank you.
Okay. That's okay.
I have over 1,000 miles so far, and I think starting in January, it'll get even way heavier than that. I am, not wanting to duplicate, and I am getting the little subcommittees going so that I don't have to, I can do a lot of it on the phone, which I have been doing a lot on the phone, but I already have over 1,000 miles.
Wow.
And that's not counting coming into Kingman for the meetings. So,
And did we determine, is 58 cents a mile correct?
Yes, it is 50 cents.
Okay. All right.
How many miles is it, Deborah, from your home to the Kingman, do you know? 38 miles. And we're about 50 from Havasu.
I'm a little farther because I'm out by the foothills, so
Okay.
I think it was about 68 one way.
Okay. Do we know how many miles up to Colorado City?
Yes, it's round trip 536.
And how many times do you think you might have to travel up there?
I'm hoping not too many because I'm just going to try to work via phone with them and build that relationship, but maybe once, twice max, I would think, when it gets closer to hold some sort of event.
Okay, and mine I think is going to be a little more varied because I'm going to be Meadview, Dolan Springs, back and forth like that. So,
536.
I would make a guesstimate at maybe about 500 miles a month
Okay.
for the 6 months.
I'm going to figure 6 months worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeannie, for doing all the math.
That's fine.
Madam Chair, while Jeannie's doing our calculations, I didn't do a lot on the printing thing, but I did just check at Staples for lanyards and printable name tags that we could print with the Census logo and our names, and just the lanyards are like $3 a piece. So just FYI.
Thank you.
Chairman, as a guesstimate, 6 months worth of driving back and forth from the different communities, a trip to Colorado City, and what she's put on, plus an additional, I would think about $2,500 would be appropriate for gas mileage. Again, that's a little high, but I'd rather be too high than too low. We're looking at about 4,000 miles, approximate. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking conservatively at about $13,000? Is that what you would say?
No, oh, yes, to include
To include everything.
So about $2,500 for travel. And are you figuring 11,000 for the?
Yeah. I rounded up.
So 13.5. And do we have anything else you can think of that we're going to need? We got the signage in there, we got the travel. That would not include a per diem. You would get a per diem if you went to Colorado City that one time. And because it's so far away, it's very difficult to try to go up and back in one day. You need to get a hotel room. So I would suggest we need to add a little bit onto that because of the per diem and the hotel room. Normally, that's about a $250 cost when we send the appraisers out there per day. So,
Yeah, I would say.
Jeannie, I have a quick question.
you bet.
Were you counting double the miles because you have to go there and come back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just checking.
And do you plan on coming to Kingman, Karen, for some of these events so we can add that to it? Because I didn't add you.
Yes, mine's about 37 each way.
Okay. Let me add that. Okay.
I think some of the things that we, it wouldn't be that much, but maybe like pens for our own self for writing. Like I know when I've gone to some of the events, people have questions and I've had to, write them down and follow up and stuff like that. So maybe just supplies for our own selves when we go to these events. So we're not bringing our own stuff.
Okay, when we add hers and we pad it just a little bit, I'd say about $2,800 in travel cost would be appropriate, and that would include a trip to Colorado City. Did I add that? Yeah, I did. So $2,800 for travel, $10,500 for giveaways, and I don't see anything else. We can add that together. 11.3?
11 and 3.
Okay, we can do that. Again, I'd rather ask for a little bit more instead of having to go back. And we'll always be very conservative. So we have $13,800. If you'd like to make that a $14,000 request to the Board of Supervisors, that's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I would say 14,000 I think is pretty conservative, seeing what some of the other communities have done. So,
Considering we're dealing with the whole county, I think it's very conservative versus each city dealing with a little area.
right. So, do I have a motion, or is that amount agreeable, or do you think that we should increase that even a little bit just to, like we said, not have to come back? I mean,
I think we should bump it up to at least minimum 15,000. Because even when you had said 10 to 15 and then the travel on top, that put us at about 17,800 for that. And like we said, we'd hate to go back and ask for more later.
right.
So I was thinking more like 18,000 with those numbers.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I would round it up to 20.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to spend anything more than we have to. I think we'll be good stewards with the money, but I do think that it's better to come one time to the board, ask for it. Again, I think even $20,000 is very conservative for the entire county. And there is going to be a lot more travel, I think, than we probably anticipate. Though I do want to note, as you had said about the per diem, if we're in county, not within our own districts, we don't get per diem. So if you go to lunch meetings and things like that, you do not get your meal, but you will get the travel. So just wanted to note that. So would someone like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we request $20,000 from the Board of Supervisors to pay for the items that we had discussed and travel that we had discussed.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now if I can find my agenda again under here. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding identifying and setting up specific subcommittees. Do we want to discuss that further, table it, carry it on to the next meeting? What's the pleasure of the group?
I have something I was thinking about. a lot of the subcommittee stuff, I'm having a hard time getting those set up, but I feel it's more I'm getting out and speaking with different individuals. And I don't know if we have this on here just to keep us up to speed as to what each individual is doing. If that's the case, I think we've addressed that by adding the updates to the beginning of the meeting with the agenda. So I feel it would be good if we go ahead and check this one off as being done and move on.
I would agree. Anybody else?
I agree.
Okay. So I was going to say, can that be a motion and a second? Do we need to? We can, okay. And then item number 4, discussion and possible action regarding identifying potential scams and educating citizens.
I have a couple comments on that. I did get in the mail somewhere here, I have it, one of the, from the Republican Party deals, and it does use the word census on it. And I don't know how they actually get away with this, but I have one here. Do we want to keep these all in one area, or? And I have been very vocal about, and if it doesn't say .gov, you don't need to answer it. It's not an important thing. So it does ask quite a few questions. Is this the same one you brought to that
Chairman,
one meeting?
that is. And the first time, might I add to your discussion here, the first time we got it, it said census, and I wasn't very happy, so I contacted our GOP in Phoenix. And the second time we got one, it says assessment. So here's the assessor wondering, are you attacking me on both ends here? Okay, first it's saying assesses. So I made another phone call. It just so happened that that group was going to be in her office at the GOP headquarters, and she was going to make mention. But keeping in mind, most likely, everything's been printed and everything's already been done. So all we can do is take a look at this and explain to people that that's not the census, that's not us, and keep saying that narrative, .gov. If it doesn't say census.gov, it's not us.
And it might be a good idea to keep, like, everyone make a copy of this and keep it with them, that they can show the people,
Right.
you know, that ask the questions, that this really isn't a census. It doesn't say census.gov. So
I do still have that.
I got an email today from the census. I went on and registered so I can get updates and be aware of what's going on. And one thing that they had said, census workers are out in your neighborhood. And one of the things they touched on, Census Bureau employees are also in the community to continue collecting information for the American Community Survey and other ongoing surveys. So to me, there are other surveys going on, but it's not the decennial census. Census is just, to me, collecting information for whatever party it may be for. So I think they will use that, but we're speaking to the decennial census by the United States government. So that came right from the census, that they are going to have people still in the community conducting other surveys as well.
Okay.
But I don't know if we really need to continue addressing it on the agenda each month. You know, I think we can also do that by sending her updates, and she can send them out to us, keeping us up to speed on what's going on, and then we can then convey that out to the community. What do you guys think about that?
I agree with that again. Yeah. Okay. So we'll remove that from future agendas. Item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding identifying rules and protocol for tribal communities.
I have an email on that real quick. I reached out to the guy in the census, and I had Karen forward out that email. I think, did you guys all get a chance to read that? The census has their own individuals that are responsible for working with the tribal communities in each area, and he had sent out who that person was in our area. The liaison was Kevin Davidson for the Wallapai tribe and Donna Mendez for the Fort Mojave tribe. and the Kaibab up north in Colorado City, they have not formed one because their tribe is so small. So those would be individuals where I would hope up there in the area they could reach out to those individuals through their complete count committees. But to me, this is all being handled, and we don't really have to work anymore on that as well.
I agree again. So I think we could remove that as long as everyone else is okay to remove that from future agendas as well. Item number 6, discussion and possible action regarding identifying events within each specific district to get the word out. I guess if I might just say we could put that also in the committee reports and remove that from future agendas if everybody's agreeable. Item number 7, discussion and possible action regarding identifying whom will be attending Board of Supervisors meetings and date to have on a future agenda. So I would guess that as far as addressing the board, that would be my responsibility as the chairman, and if I'm not available, it would be Nicole's as the vice chair. But I'm open to discussion on that.
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
Well, I think as Jeannie, as the staff support, is as far as a board action form,
Okay.
she would be the one that would present that. But
Okay.
obviously, you can join her, when you are up with the
Absolutely, I'll
board.
help get the action form in, and then
Perfect.
I will be there for both of you.
And we'll do it as a team. I like that. Okay, very good. And
Do you have the dates on the meetings? The 21st is in Havasu. I think it's too late to put in a
So November 4th will be the next one in Kingman.
okay, so we'll get that prepared. and
Absolutely.
ready for the November 4th. Okay. And then final item, discussion and possible action regarding identifying marketing ideas for the 2020 census.
I had requested this item be added. I attended the City of Kingman's Complete Count Committee Task Force for their city there. And there was a couple good ideas that I'm going to borrow from them that I'd like to present, where it would be at no cost to the county, and it would be utilizing, things that we already have here. So one of them would be on the census website. There's a countdown clock to the day of the census, and I thought that would be neat if we could get that added to the Mojave County website just as soon as people go on. It's right there at the top or something saying countdown to census day. Again, not costing any out-of-pocket money. Another one that they had mentioned was some sort of advertising or a little blip about the upcoming census on hold music when they call into the county departments. A little, run there where they're holding, and it's like something about the census. And then utilize email addresses that the county has to send out email blasts to inform citizens about the upcoming 2020 census. All free marketing. All we'd have to do is create the emails to send out in those blasts. If we would be able to do that through the county, that would be great. I don't know what we need to do to see if that's possible or move forward with those items.
I think those are great ideas. I think the countdown clock, I would say we would just need to talk to IT and see. Well, I suppose we would have to get that approved first, wouldn't we? Through maybe bring it
Or
up
an
in our
agenda
managers.
item?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we can add that to our agenda item with our ideas. So we'd have a budget, but we'd also have some ideas and make sure the board is okay with
Right.
those. I think they're fantastic ideas, and I think we
they
should
are,
just
too.
add it to our packet.
I agree.
Great idea.
Okay, and we don't need a motion on that. We can just add that to the item. Okay, very well. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our agenda, so I guess a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a question, the next meeting time.
Karen, do you have that next meeting time?
Well, if you stick with your third Wednesday of the month, it looks like November 20th, and that is the week before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And what time? Is it going to be 10 or 3?
I would think we would go back to 3 o'clock again because we didn't address it on the agenda. Okay, sorry I jumped the gun. Any other comments or questions?
Good job, ladies.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you all.